Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's Monday, the 24th of March, 2025. It's almost the end of March, and we are excited to see you and have you join the channel. Today, we have the lovely Jen from the Awakened Jen Tarot, Dawn from Astrology and Tarot Alchemy, Marcia at the Salty Mama Soul Tribe, and myself, Sari, and we are your hosts today for the Spiritual View. As you are joining, we wanted to make sure everyone knows if you would like a personal reading today, we're going to be doing that after some chatting. And put a heart in the chat if you would love to see a one-card pull. And we also have a new moon ritual that Dawn is going to be doing on the channel this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we would encourage you to join us, and we will actually send out some more information later this week, how to join the link on Saturday, the 29th for the new moon. So again, as you're joining us, we're seeing everyone sign on. So just put a heart in the chat if you would like to see a one card pull. And today, we're going to be focusing on a couple of things from an astrology perspective. One is the eclipse on the 29th in Aries, which is going to be very powerful. And as Dawn put it earlier, it's the start of a new era. And we're going to talk about the Mercury Cazimi today that's happening. So as you're joining, welcome. And again, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. We are very grateful for this lovely and wonderful spiritual community. So Dawn, Jen, Marcia, anything else before we get going? Okay. All right. As usual, we start off by doing a really good clearing, and it's going to be a busy week and a powerful week. So let's close our eyes and let's slow it down just a wee bit. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. And today we're going to visualize that we are sitting on the front porch of a beautiful mountain cabin in a rocking chair with a warm breeze blowing against our face. We are overlooking the mountains and watching the sunshine and rocking with just peace and tranquility. There's a small creek nearby, and you can hear the sound of the water bubbling as it moves down the creek. As you have your eyes closed, absorb the green of Mother Gaia, the beauty of the mountains, the sound of the creek, the warmth of the sun on your face, the gentle breeze blowing through. We have Archangel Michael, who's here today, sitting next to each of us to offer strength, guidance, and protection. And imagine as we clear the chakras with this beautiful golden sunlight that is all around us. It is working its way through from the crown all the way through our feet and connecting us deep with Mother Earth, but also at the same time connecting us with the heavens. And feel that warm light cleansing, balancing, aligning, filling us with the Christ consciousness, energy, divine love, divine source. And Archangel Michael puts this bubble of protective light around each of us, protecting us, giving us strength, but letting us stand in our power for the week ahead. And as we bask in this beautiful energy, the sunlight, the breeze, the mountain, the creek, the peace that it brings us, remember this energy as you go through the week and how clear and clean it feels and how protected you are with this beautiful archangel beside you, guiding, directing, protecting. Let's breathe that beautiful energy in one more time. Deep release out. Okay, we are clear. And I'm going to turn it over to Dawn.
Oh, good for me. I remembered to unmute before I started talking. Hello, everyone. I really enjoyed that because I'm in Tennessee and I got to meet Jen and Sari in person. So that was wonderful. We had a lovely time. And so I'm actually sitting out on a porch. And today was the first day I didn't actually drink my coffee sitting in the swing that's over there. So when you're talking about a rocker, and I'm like, yep, check. River, check. Woods, check. Hills, check. So yes, it is just lovely. So there's a lot of energy going on this week. Today we do have the Mercury Cazimi. Saturday we had the Venus Cazimi, and of course the Saturday we have the Aries eclipse. This is the last eclipse in that Aries Libra alignment, and but it signifies the beginning of something brand new. It is very much have been ending things. We are still going to be in that process because a lot of things are still going to be going back and forth between the Pisces and Aries areas of the chart. And one of the things that is happening now to get us prepared for that new start, we're still going to be ending some of the old things, but it's definitely signifying we're going into some new things for all of us. We have been working very hard. We have Mars is direct and will be in a square with at the exact degree with Chiron. So there are things there that we are starting to heal. We are moving forward with that. None of this has been easy energy. We still have internal emotional work that we are doing, and we will continue to be doing. But Mercury, the thinking part of us, and Venus, also that feeling part of us, are still processing a lot of things going on in our lives. And we are going to have a lot of deja vu because we're having things going back and forth and back and forth. Things are still in retrograde. It'll feel like, oh, I've been through this. This is showing up again. What is this? What is this here for? This is again. And we will have that keep happening. But it's also in a way helping us process where we're going to. So it's like, okay, this is back again. I need to keep moving through this because I apparently haven't gotten this all taken care of yet. So there's that energy of things going through. We do have the very helpful Pluto transformational energy that is in a brand new area that it hasn't been in for over 200 years. And that is going to be, it has been talking to both Venus and actually Venus has had her talk with him, and she's going back into Pisces, and Mercury will then be backing up and then having that sextile, I think tomorrow or the day after. So we're talking about a lot of transitional energy going on with everything, and maybe changing how we think about things and what's coming up for us. So I want you to realize that if you don't feel like, oh, this is a new era starting and I feel like crap and things aren't going right, that's okay. It's okay, because you are finishing up old things that you are completely getting rid of. You're in that, you're the Nine of Wands. You're almost there. You've been carrying this burden for a really, really long time, and you're almost there. So that's the energy that you should be taking with you, is that, you know what? I have a lot of burdens that I'm working through and I'm getting rid of before I get to my goal. So that's very much that energy of, do not worry the fact that you feel like, okay, I feel like I'm in this stuck position. That will be taken care of. I promise you. Eclipse energy takes care of that. And this eclipse is really going to be effective for a whole year with all this energy. And it has everything situated around this brand new time that we're going into when Neptune, the day after the eclipse. Now, Neptune takes 165 years to go completely around. And how odd is it that the very last eclipse in the Aries energy for the next 9 years is going to be at 9 degrees. So everybody look for 9 degrees in their charts. And we just had that 0 degrees, equinox. All this preparation that has led us to this moment where then Neptune, for the first time, the day after the Aries eclipse, steps into Aries for the first time in 165 years. Just the lineup of it, how close everything has been moved together. So I want people to understand that they may be overwhelmed at times with emotion, because there's a lot going on and there's a lot that we're processing. I just want people to be aware of that and understand that, because I don't want to everything's all rosy, we're going into a new era. And, well, yeah, but it's not going to be clean. It's not going to be, it's going to be tougher for the collective. I think we have our own protections because we are doing the work. If you're not doing the work, it's much different of a feeling for you. And I had mentioned before that a friend of mine had pointed out that Ceres, who was discovered 129 years before Pluto, was considered an asteroid, and Pluto was considered a planet. Well, within the past 5 years, Pluto was demoted to a dwarf planet, and Ceres was elevated to a dwarf planet. So they are equal. And remember, they were the ones that were having this argument over Persephone. So in that particular scenario, now they are equals, just like they were in the story, because they were both god and goddess at that time. So now they're equal again. Shifting power, right? Shifting power. So just know that you're going to be working through some of those energies with things, and you will really, you'll really find out there's truth's going to be coming out for you. There's a lot of news that's going to be coming out. Things are still hidden. Not everything has been divulged as of yet, because we still have tons and tons of energy in Pisces area of our chart with Neptune still there. But within the next month, I would say there's going to be a lot of energy coming out, a lot of news coming out. And even within our own lives, there's things that we weren't aware of that are going to be happening. So does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Well, I don't have questions other than, you can confirm this for me or not. I was looking up about this eclipse, and some of the core themes that it was talking about was radical rebirth of identity, sacred rage, courage, and fire. I've absolutely been feeling that one. Soul contract closures and timeline collapsing, leadership and divine mission activation, and divine feminine embodiment in action. So just anything you want to add that might...
Check. Yes. Awesome. Because it's Aries. It's amazing how the astrology just works so well. We just went through the nodes, our lessons, our collective lessons. Being in the North Node was in Aries, our personal sovereignty, our personal energy, and Libra, leaving behind the mentality of going along to get along, which is actually a trauma response. Those energies that we have been releasing, the truth is that no one should treat you better than you do yourself. You should be, and I know this is so counterintuitive for all of us born with Pluto and Virgo, you come first. You come first. And I know Christopher Witecki says this too. When you are dividing things up, one for me and one for you, one for me and one for you. I put my oxygen mask on first, then I help you with yours.
Well, and this is like the Six of Pentacles. We have to be receivers as much as we are givers.
That's right.
And that's the balance. And that's a difficult thing for empaths to do. Yeah.
And I think that's also why some of this is such a struggle for people. It's like when someone's sick in your home, who usually ends up, being the caretaker, even if she ends up getting sick, right? It's that mom energy of I am, I'm working outside the home, I'm working in the home, and I'm taking care of, and then they get so run down, and all that energy. There's so many things with people having problems with immune systems because they haven't been resting, they haven't been taking care of themselves. And truly, right now is the time that you have to make time for yourself, because the energy out there is so intense and is going to continue to be intense. So you have to allow time for plenty of rest, eating good foods, and also taking care of your own spiritual and physical body. It's not just your spiritual things that are going on, because now we're in that Pisces Virgo axis, spiritual and physical. Virgo is very much about health. So it is telling us to take better care of ourselves in the South Node. What do I need to give up that isn't good for me? What is that energy? What is that everybody before me? Virgo, Libra, and Cancer. Those are the three that are the worst. And I have a Cancer sun, so it's like, that was such a learning process. You have to stop and guess what? My sons are very encouraging of that. It's like, you know what? You need to take care of you. We're adults, we're good. Kind of thing. So that's what happens when you have spiritually awake sons. But it's very, very much that energy of the divine feminine. Like I said, Ceres is being elevated, and she was discovered before Pluto, right? And that powerful feminine energy is going to be coming out more and more. And for us, I feel like we are getting much more protection energy from a lot of the asteroid goddesses that are coming back into the forefront of what's going on. Because if you really add those to your astrology, they tell such a really beautiful story about things, and how messages can come up in with the divine feminine, and how they empower the divine feminine in different ways. So all of the things that Jen said, yes, that's completely exactly, we have this new energy coming forward, and of courage, and of moving forward, and big change. There is big change. I mean, if you just think about all of the AI things that are going to be changing, and how jobs are going to be changing just because of that. Also, I would say leadership changes, big leadership changes all over the world. There are going to be changes with that. Heads of state in the mundane astrology, they're talking about how with more and more countries kind of having something to say, but there are going to be, my understanding is that there's going to be changes in who are leading those countries. But we do have a couple years where it's important to stand up for ourselves, take care of ourselves, and know that we are coming into our own power. And honestly, I don't have any fear of those kind of things going on. I just feel like we're coming into a place where everything's clearing out for us. But allow this time that we're getting all these emotional things that we haven't dealt with in decades. And, if you're someone that's my age, and that we're having to process through that, because it'll make us much stronger and understanding much more as we're going through the next couple of years. And then you won't be triggered. What triggers you now isn't going to trigger you then. It's like, what was I worried about that for, or that situation? It's not even in my radar anymore. So yeah, it's definitely a good time for the feminine energy to be coming through.
Yeah. The other thing, Dawn, that I was going to say is, we on this channel and all of you listening and participating are doing the work. And I've had some real observations of late around how ungrounded people are around me, and how people are being triggered. So we are the lighthouse for others who are not doing the work or have chosen not to do the work. And sometimes that means that we have to hold our tongues. I had to do it this morning. I was like, zip. And that we need to give grace a lot, because can you imagine the challenges for us, even having done the work or in process of the work, those who are completely lost in the darkness, how it must feel and how people are lashing out irrationally. And so when you're in this situation, if you can have the higher grace for people who either can't get it or don't want to get it and that are struggling to find the light, you are that light for people. And what comes with it is sometimes responsibility. And so that requires you stepping back and being the observer. It is not easy. I had to hold my tongue and walk out of a room this morning at 7:30, not to say something really ugly to a nurse. And again, it's happening everywhere. And no matter whether you go to the grocery store, the doctor's office, whatever, your families, remember that you're the lighthouse right now. And in this wonderful time of transition, there's some wonderful aspects to it, but the darker sides actually provide this wonderful opportunity for us to shine the light even stronger. And if you can kind of hold on to that, it makes a lot of sense. It's just always, it's not easy to do. And I'm finding that I'm having to give a lot of grace to myself as well.
And as well, it's anytime that Mercury is retrograde, it's always a good idea to hold your tongue, because there are things that once it's said, once it's out there, you can't reel it back in no matter what. But I totally agree that everybody's on their own vibrational journey, and that, everyone that's watching this channel, they have a vibrational thing that they're putting out. Their light, their vibration is actually a calming effect, and it also helps the collective because that elevation is higher. And when things are, we're kind of like the grounding for the collective, I would say, where we're able to hold that space. Not every single second, we have our moments, but vibrationally, even if we are having a tough time, we're still at a higher vibrational level than a lot of people. And we are important in that other people find calm. I can guarantee that many of the people that are out there, and I'm sure all of the people here, they have people that they don't know walk up and tell them all kinds of things about themselves and share things that have been difficult for them. And that is a Cheroklo energy of, they know that you're a safe place and a healer, and you don't have to do anything but listen, because the act of them speaking is their healing, that process. And then they're releasing some of these things. If you've also been having dreams that are like almost nightmarish, that's also a way to process and let some of that old energy go. So that is, I realized that this morning I had like a weird father dream, and I was like, what the heck? And then it's like, oh, because I'm letting that go now. I'm letting a lot of stuff go like that. So that's things that are going to be happening up.
I just wanted to add that the word embodiment has just been really loud as you've been talking, especially when you were talking about the Virgo stuff. And I think that that's kind of what Sari was saying too. I mean, like, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We've done the work. And so now we have to embody it so that the rest of can see, like, what was the purpose of all the work anyways. I mean, so it's more than just taking it in and getting the messages. What are we going to do with it? And I think that that's all this energy is kind of helping us to put it into action now.
And step into power, actually.
Yeah.
And step into power. That's what we embody it, and then step into power. Our own power, our power for the collective. Many people that have Pluto in Virgo are going to become leaders in one way or another, because, yes, you should say no to things that are happening that you don't agree with. But instead of saying just, no, I'm going to picket against this or whatever, which is fine, then what is the answer? I'm going to do that. That is not what I want. So it's this. And then put your energy towards that. And each person will be called to a unique thing for themselves.
Well, and sometimes the best response is no response. I had a certain family member that's been baiting me all weekend with text messages. And Dawn, we talked about it yesterday. Sometimes you give feedback to people by just not responding. And if you don't engage in that energy, at some point they drop it. And so, again, it takes a lot of discipline, but sometimes silence is such a powerful teacher. And it's not being unkind or ugly. It's just being silent. And you said it really well yesterday when we were together having lunch. And it's going on all over the place, holding the tongue.
Absolutely. And I think we are ending old cycles. We are getting rid of some of that energy. So there is a lot to look forward to, but I don't want to give anybody the impression that this is a cakewalk, because it's not. But it's so going to be worth it. So let's go ahead and go on to our collective reading. And who shall we? Oh, Marcia, go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to start with me today. So the question we are focusing on collectively and personally is for this Aries season, and not just the Aries season, but with that new moon eclipse, what version of me is emerging from this eclipse time? And so collectively, I drew from the Cosmic Journal Oracle deck, and very fittingly, we got an 11 card. Wow. Each evolutionary turn requires you to give up who you think you are. And it's just everything that we were talking about. And as Dawn mentioned, it's so wonderful when the astrology just perfectly spells out for us what we can expect. And we are emerging into a brand new paradigm, right? Think about how far we've come in 160 years since the Civil War. And even before that, 160 years before that, in the 1700s, there was barely colonies here in the United States. So the massive paradigm shifts that have gone on, we are at the precipice of this for our generation, for the next 160 years. So let's read this here. At the threshold you have now come to, you must give up what you thought you were so you can move into who you truly are. Each and every turn of the evolutionary spiral requires you to fully step into another level of creation to usher in what's next. A step on the spiral might sometimes feel like a step backwards, but there is only perfect progress on your pathless path as you surrender. Your identity is so deeply rooted in your roles, in your car, in your place in society, your bank account, or your profession, all of it. It's time to shed that skin. Each turn has its own perils and rewards, both easier and harder every time. Harder to give up what came before, but easier because you know what's coming, your next leap into a galactic emergence. So take this the takeaway I want you to think about with this card is, what is the deepest identity I'm scared to give up? This is an 11 card. So we're just asked by the universe, as we step into this eclipse energy, embrace the life you really were born to live. I couldn't say it any more simpler than that. Okay, and I'm going to hand it over to Sari.
Okay. All right. So the question again is, what version of me is emerging during this eclipse season? Love, love, love this card from the Gaia deck. And it's the first time I've actually pulled this one, but I love this guy. This is Ganesha. It's a 31, which reduces to a 4, which is all around building a stable foundation. And Ganesha, if you don't know the history, Ganesha is the son of Shiva and Parvati and is a Brahmin deity in the Hindu culture. And there's a lot of interesting information about Ganesha. Most people relate to Ganesha around removing obstacles and protection, but he's also known for, he likes to eat sweets, sweet cakes, and he has a role in being the dispenser of magic, surprise, and a lot of laughter. I have 2 Ganeshas by my bedside stand in California. And so I think what's emerging right now is this beautiful energy of, you've done the work and you're letting go of some obstacles that might have been in the way that you're clearing. Some of these may be karmic cycles, as we talked about before, soul contracts that are ending. And it is a beautiful time of opening up to the new and allowing this beautiful energy of clearing to come through. So many of us are going through a clearing exercise in many ways to allow this new cycle that Dawn had talked about with this eclipse coming. And so if you are feeling connected, ask Ganesha to remove any obstacles. If I'm having a bad day, I'll look over at Ganesha and say, can you clear this, please? I'm having a rough day. But it's also a beautiful energy of laughter, of surprise, of happiness. And again, it's a beautiful energy that reminds us to clear whatever has gotten in the way, ask for Ganesha to release it, and to bring in this new cycle of the new beginning that wants to emerge, this newer version of you. It's just a beautiful energy. And I'll turn it now over to Jen.
Okay, so I used the Soul Coaching Oracle today, and I pulled the card Flow. So what version of us is emerging from this eclipse? We're getting more into the flow. If you've been in a stagnant, stuck state, we're actually moving again. And this is also a 21 card, which connects to the World card in the tarot, which is about the cycles closing. And so I feel like we're able to move because of the things that we closed out, because we finally did something different and got off of that, just the circle that just kept going. So it says it's time to let go. You're entering a period of gracious ease and flow. All is unfolding perfectly and with good timing. Everything is falling into place because you aren't resisting the drift of the great river of life. What your soul wants you to know, when you're in a state of flow, you aren't pushing the river to go faster and you aren't swimming against it. You just let go of the shore and enjoy the ride. A Native American saying is, it's best to ride the horse the direction that it's going. If you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, it might mean that you're trying to control situations in your life, or you're being self-critical or judgmental. The way to move into flow is through gratitude and appreciation, and by allowing others to support and help you. The glory of the universe flows through me. And so, like, the force of that, like, we're releasing the resistance, because I feel like we were holding on to things, trying to force them to be the thing that we wanted it to be, and they were never wanting to be that thing. And so now that we finally let that go, now then we can flow into the things that are actually lined up with the thing that we were actually wanting that other thing to be. All right, so Dawn. Okay.
And so I am pulling from the Mystic Sisters, and what came out today, Ceres. So again, she is the now dwarf planet, Ceres. So like I said, she got a bump up, and she is very much tied into the Venus retrograde energy. She was the mother of Persephone, and Venus sometimes is considered Persephone going into the underworld and coming back out with more power. So that's why it's, Venus and Mercury retrograde happening at the same time is double. It's like, okay, a lot of emotional work times 2. So Ceres, I can't think of any better description than how it's described in this book, because it's really very much about what's going on in today's energies. Ceres is the Roman goddess of agriculture and grain. She represents the transition from a nomadic hunter-gatherer society to one of sowing, reaping, and tending one piece of land. This shift made it necessary for new laws to divide the land and protect property ownership. Ceres is therefore a goddess of transition and order, protecting women during key transitional periods of their lives, between girlhood to womanhood, from motherhood to old age. Drawing this card signifies a new state of maturity in whatever stage of the life cycle you are presently in. A strong motherly guide is within you. Your labor will yield results. Your newfound endurance will encourage younger women to grow. And what I found fascinating as I was continuing to shuffle, but as I did that, guess what came out? Hecate, the embodiment of Mother, Maiden, Crone, coming out again. And just exactly what it was saying in here. So it's like, no matter what stage of your life, from girlhood to womanhood to medicine woman energy. And Hecate also represents standing at the crossroads. She's also involved in the Persephone story because she's the one that found Persephone and told Ceres where she was at so that she could go rescue her. So women helping women is a big theme as well in this story. So with that energy, we will be going back to Marcia.
Yes, and drawing for individuals now, if you put a heart by your name, we have pinged in on individuals, and I am drawing for Jonna. And I couldn't help but my ears just clued right in when Dawn was speaking, and she said a lot of emotional work times two, somewhere in that early description she was discussing Ceres. And that is exactly what I thought of, Jonna. When I pulled this card for you, this is the Two of Cups, my dear. And so a lot of times, Two of Cups we think of as partnerships, romantic partnerships for sure. The symbolism here, obviously, the golden chalice, is it the caduceus of Hermes? Is that how we say that? I always slaughter that, but you see that here, a divine, balanced partner or a mutual respect, something going on there. But with regard to the question of what version of Jonna is emerging with this Aries solar new moon is, I believe, an internal balancing. I really feel like, Jonna, you've done something. You've come out of an energy where there was some kind of Chiron wound, maybe a distrust where you didn't trust yourself or didn't have some self-confidence or some kind of that ego type energy that you might have actually needed. Mars can be very helpful. So what is emerging is a real opportunity to experience for the first time, maybe a true self-love balancing within yourself. And as we've said many times, we said it here again today, when you do that, wow, you just shine out to others as an example of the quiet work that has been done to now manifest this balanced, wonderful, really beautiful opportunity here. Okay, Miss Sari, I will hand it off to you.
Okay, and I'm pulling from Misty, and I actually have the new deck that Miss Dawn gifted yesterday to me. It's the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And Misty, what Spirit's message for you is, and I keep pulling fours now, this is a 40, which reduces to a 4, which is about foundations. But this card is the land between. And you see there's kind of a divide between the land on the left and the land of the right, which means crossing a bridge. And if you can see, there are two bridges that lead to a new place. So the meaning of this is you're in a process of change. You know that what you were called to do, but you can no longer be who you were, but you aren't sure what the next experience of your life would be. So this card oftentimes is described as the cocoon period before you're the butterfly. And so many of us are in this cocoon period where we've got one foot in the old world and one foot in the new world, but we don't know exactly once we come out of the cocoon what we're going to look like. Now, as you all know, when we emerge as butterflies are beautiful and very sacred. So Misty, whatever angst you might be feeling of being in this kind of in-between where you're letting go of the old, but you're not exactly sure what's coming with the new you is really trying to emerge. And what the significance of the card is, just be okay that it might be a little bit wonky and uncomfortable, but yet the chrysalis is opening and you are coming out as this beautiful butterfly. I can just see these beautiful rainbow colors. And this is the new you. And it says, be in the present moment and learn to manage the discomfort or feeling of being uncomfortable because you don't yet see it or you have the answer. But it is coming, and they're saying just continue to be calm and smooth, take deep breaths, call upon your archangels and your guides, And your little angel butterfly wings are going to be coming out, baby, and just give it the time. And for any of you that are feeling this discomfort, it's actually what we're supposed to be feeling, and that's okay. And sometimes I can navigate energies when I have the context around it of what's actually happening. And even if it doesn't feel good, I go, oh, I'm actually going to feel this at the end. So, baby, you're a big butterfly that just wants to be out of that chrysalis. It's coming. And just give it the time to be present and to sit with the discomfort, because you're letting go of this old you to make room for the new. And I hope that resonates for you or someone. And I will turn it over to Jen.
That butterfly energy has been so loud. Even yesterday while we were sitting talking, I was watching this white butterfly just going all over the field. And it's just, I think that that's a powerful message for everybody. All right. And just, okay, something else I want to say with the butterfly. When they're in that chrysalis, they're getting completely dissolved. I mean, it's like, this is not like a beautiful process. It's a messy, just complete restructuring process. And that's what we're all going through right now. All right. So let's see. I have pulled for Michelle K. Okay. And I'm using the new deck that Dawn gave me. And this is the Enchanted Map. And we got the intention card, and it's a 22 card, which is a master builder number. And it says that you have everything that you need in order to create the life that you are wanting. And with the intention, so something else I noticed on this is like this part right here. So the wish is here, but it's with this owl that has the wisdom. So you're not just making like wishful thinking, you're making choices that have the wisdom behind it as well, from all of the lessons that you've been going through. So intention is deliberate, clear intentions have the power to change your world. Your objectives will be fulfilled at this time. Inspired intentions are like magic arrows shot into the sky. The universe is bringing you a gift, showing you that you're hitting your mark. Recognize that you're not the one who has to do all of the work. However, others help you co-create reality. You connect to the power of your intention, sending it out into the field, then allow for synchronicity to work its magic. Perhaps the good intentions of others will inspire you to send out beautiful ones of your own. Own the life that you want to lead and live deliberately with clarity and detachment. And so you have the power. So just set your intentions and then work towards those things. And so, like Dawn said this earlier, once you know what you want, like that makes your choices a lot easier. If it doesn't line up with that, that's a no. So like only choose what is actually lining up with the things that you are actually wanting to create in your life. All right. And so now then moving over to Dawn.
Hello, I am reading for Rose. And Rose, you may not realize this, but you are a special gift to me today. I don't recall seeing you very often before, or if at all, but I'm in Tennessee. And the reason that I'm here is to celebrate the life of my Aunt Rosemary, who went by Rosie or Rose. So to have your name appear was a very special moment for me. And I was like, okay, I'm being called to read for you. And I feel like the message, this is coming from my Aunt Rosie, who is going to, I think, give a message to all of us, because the card that I drew for you, Rose, I set it with the intention of drawing for you, and I feel like I am, but I also feel like it's a broader message because it's something for me and I think for everyone else. And it ties in with this Aries energy, with something that I think we were overlooking. Of course, I would be reminded of that by my aunt, because she was this kind of person. So this card is the Divine Tarantella, which is actually something I used to love to play on the piano when I was little. The Divine Tarantella is an ancient Grecian ritualistic dance performed in honor of the god of music and the sun, Apollo, and the god of wine, Dionysus. The rhythm of a tarantella slowly increases, causing the dancers and the musicians to reach the heights of frenzied ecstasy. The goddess of the divine tarantella calls you to act out your own unabashed, exuberant, and childlike self-expression. It is a form of exorcism, to dance the bad spirits or negative energy out. Drawing this card is a reminder of the healing power of bold, joyful action. When all else fails to uplift, a vigorous dance will work like a charm. Lose yourself in a song and dance with wild abandon. This ultimate expression of the mind, body, and spirit will shake all bad vibes right out and increase your overall health and vitality. She's just talking to me over and over again. I'm a Zumba Gold instructor. Dancing is my jam over to stuff that I really, really, really love. So for me, this is saying to everyone, take that Aries energy of that fire and passion and use it to really be exuberant in your life. We are going through big changes, but it doesn't mean that we can't do it joyfully and with passion. I think that you'll be able to do that. No matter what is going on in your life, you're going to have a lot to offer, Rose. And I feel like this is telling you to take those moments, even for yourself, to dance out bad energy and get rid of it. And you always feel better if you go back to the days when you were in your teens and the songs that you used to listen to, and put those on for yourself and dance and enjoy. So this is your message today. And also for me, I know I'm getting a message, and it's just a God wink from my Aunt Rosemary. So I thank you very much for that. And we will go on to Jen. No, I'm sorry, Marcia.
Back again. So we'll start another round. And I am drawing for Spirit Dragon Tarot and drawing from the Good Tarot deck. Good morning, my love. I drew for you the 14 card. This is the card of patience or temperance. And I just love, love, love this card. Of course, we don't have the cups and the balancing, but what you will see balanced is this very kind of, I would say Uranian earpiece filtering in something from above, along with time. There's a clock right over her heart. Okay, so balancing yet again, and this is what is emerging from you, my love, is a beautiful, healed, balanced, patient, and calm version of yourself, coming into a true purpose, really, after a long period of waiting, listening, taking in the clues. Which way am I going to go? Balancing all the elements. You know, I love temperance. I'm a Sagittarius. Of course, this is Sagittarius energy, but I often feel that it has very much that magician energy, except that you have learned, like I said, the patience, the balancing, taking the higher and the long view of things. So wonderful to see you stepping out into your own. And I am excited to see where this next evolution of you goes. So I'm sure you'll tune in and tell us all about it. Okay, Miss Sari, over to you.
Okay, I'm reading for Ed today. Ed, thanks for joining us, even if the time change was a challenge for you today. So I'm reading from another deck that Dawn gifted us yesterday called Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And so the card that I pulled, it's another 4 card, and it's called the Swan Queen. And it's around transformation, intuition, and patience. And it has a beautiful swan in the snow, or a number of swans here, sitting by a queen, sitting in this beautiful energy. And the essence of this card, Ed, is very similar to the High Priestess. And it's around trusting your intuition. And so I got really curious while I was sitting here absorbing. And I said, what does Ed really need to trust his intuition about? So I cheated a little bit and pulled another card. So I pulled this from the Shaman's Dream, Ed, and you got this card, a 24 card called the Galactic Mushroom and the Divine Matrix. In essence, what this card is saying is that the Galactic Mushroom reminds you that your dreams and desires have been heard. This is a call to you for faith and trust. Whatever intentions you hold consistently with hope and faith, first manifest in the unseen realms. So I think there's something that you've wanted to manifest in your life, and you've put your intentions out there and you want to see it manifest, but you probably have not actually seen it yet in the material world. And with the Swan King, Queen, what it's telling you is trust your gut, your intuition, and your knowingness and claim it because it is coming at whatever you've been putting out there to the universe, a wish, a new way of life, a new relationship. And again, this is a reminder, just because you haven't seen it manifest in your physical world doesn't mean that the universe isn't going to bring it. It's going to manifest, and please trust your intuition, the Swan Queen, the High Priestess, because whatever you're putting out, that good energy, those good intentions, Ed, is going to come back to you tenfold. So don't give up, and please continue believing in your heart, believing in your faith and trust of what you put out there that you want to see and be in the world. And so it's really a great message of encouragement to you, Ed, to stay the course because it is coming for you. And I'll pass it on to Jen.
Okay, I have pulled for Siobhan. And so I'm using the enchanted map for you as well. And we have making a decision. So you are at a choice point, crossroads. And so I got the decision that you're making. There's not really a right or wrong on this. I think that you're spending a lot of time trying to find the perfect answer. So it's almost coming to that Seven of Cups energy. But it's fear is the thing that's holding you back about, because there's one path that you want, but it's like the fear of it is holding you back from actually making it. It's like the fear is so big, it's causing you to want to just kind of run away from it. But I'm telling you, you can have whatever you want with this. And so there's no right or wrong. If the fear is that big and you need to choose the other option, you're still going to be okay. But I think even choosing the option you're scared of, it's going to turn out even better than what you're thinking right now. So you're at a place you can't keep putting this off anymore, though. You have to make a decision. And so I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. We have, you're required to come to a decision now. You're faced with a dilemma or a fork in the road and must make a conscious choice regarding the next action. Whatever that choice is, you must take responsibility for it. Yet you needn't be afraid. You may not have all of the answers right now because the way ahead can't be known until you've embarked and traveled a few steps. Trust your intuition, ask for a sign from spirit, and you will be led to the right path. If you remain conscious and aware, your choice will be the right one at the right time. Life is always about learning. Success lies in choosing consciously, guided by intuition and spirit. And so I'm going to even say, for the one that you're afraid of, like, take that step forward. Just take one step forward into it. Lean in just a little bit more. And like, it's going to open up more information. Right now, you're sitting stuck and you've had only the information that you've kind of had to this point. But if you just lean in just a little bit more, it opens up just enough that you can peek and see, is it safe? Take another step. Is it safe? You don't have to go all in, just little steps. Is it safe? And the minute that it becomes unsafe, you can pull yourself back and make a different choice. All right. So moving over now to Dawn.
Hello, I am reading for Rebecca Jo, and the card that came out for you, Mezzo Goddess. And apparently music is a theme for me today. So I love its manifestation and visionary songs. The Mezzo Goddess sings her visions into reality. She is the goddess of manifestation, and her song subtly bends fate to her will. Ancient cultures around the planet have practiced this magical art since the beginning of human history. When you begin, you may sing quietly to yourself, but as the vision gains more clarity, your song will grow louder. This card heralds the time has come to practice voicing your dreams in order to reveal them to yourself. It takes time to perfect your soul song and to hone your vision so that it may be projected into the most positive outcome you can imagine. And Rebecca Jo, specifically for you, specifically as a message I get for you, I feel that you are aligning what you truly want and what you truly want to give to the world and what you're going to be offering out there. I think you're perfecting that message. I'm convinced, I have read for you before, you are a very, very powerful person, and you will be leading others. And you're still perfecting your song. But if you know any musician that writes music, they will always have that feeling that they could just be a little bit better. They haven't written the perfect song yet. They're still writing. They're still bringing that in. So I want you to understand that even though you don't think that your song is quite ready for the public, or what you're doing is quite ready for the public, you need to bring it forth. It doesn't matter that you're still walking an unseen path, is how I will say it. Being on that path is important, and sharing that path with other people is also important. So be brave, be strong. You have got this. You have got this. So with that, I will send this over to Sari. Oh, sorry. Oh, I need to go to
Actually, we're going to turn it to Marcia.
Marcia. Okay, thank you.
We're switching plans. We're sticking with the original. Anyway, so Miss Diamond Heart, if you are here, hello. I have drawn a card for you from the Wildwood Tarot. This is, I love this deck. But the card I got for you is this Two of Bows. Wow. This is the card of decision. Powerful. So as we go through this week and this coming into the eclipse energy of this new moon in Aries, you, my dear, are going to emerge with some powerful, passion-driven decisions. This is something that obviously you have thought about a long time, but the time has come to make a definite choice. So the subconscious, the meaning behind this card is that the subconscious senses relating to the desire to resolve decisions are absolutely awakened. The gateway stands open before you. Prepare to take positive action. So this Aries season, I mean, there couldn't be a better time really to decide who you are going to be, the next evolution of you. Leave behind any toxic patterns, relationships in this Pisces time, and go after what it is you are passionate about. The universe is clearly imbuing you with some fiery passion here. So go for it, my dear. Go for it. Okay, and I'm going to pass it back over to Sari.
Okay, and I'm reading for Deborah Pecan out of the Oracle of the Seven Energies. So I'm going to close this out today. So Deborah, if you're still here, the card that I pulled is called the Roots of Abundance. And you see this beautiful tree and these very deep, large roots firmly grounded into Mother Gaia. It's a beautiful card. And the concept behind this card is being stabilized by deep roots, anchoring yourself and feeling secure in your life, your trust, and your belief in abundance. And I feel like right now, you may be challenged right now by some external things going on around you. And I would say this for everyone. We're all being triggered, tested, being put in situations where external things around us want to shake our roots and to shake our foundation and to make us come out of our center. And Deborah, you may be in a situation right now where you have questioned abundance, or you question, did this thing happen for you or to you? And if you are grounded and internally steadfast, absolutely nothing can uproot you. And you have the ability to manifest your intentions with ease. They say everything in the material world is a reflection of your interior world. You are unstoppable and unshakable because you can believe that you are abundant. So this is a message, I think, Deborah, if you're questioning abundance, or you're questioning some things going on in your life and people are trying to shake the tree, so to speak, stay rooted and grounded with Mother Gaia and continue to hold that intention of abundance. And don't believe all the external chaos and drama that may be going on around you. Stay firmly rooted in your beliefs in your values, stand tall in your power. So think of yourself with this huge tree, standing tall in your power with your roots firmly embedded in Mother Gaia, really feeling her support. And don't let anyone or anything try to knock you out of that beautiful energy. So it's a beautiful energy of stability, groundedness, and hope of abundance for the future. And I hope that that resonates for you, Deborah. And again, I think it's a great collective message this week as we start navigating some of these interesting energies leading up into the eclipse on the 29th. So with that, we're going to close out for today. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We'll have daily messages all week long, so please join us in the mornings, but we'll be back live on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Many blessings to each of you. Stay strong. Ask for your guides and protection from the archangels. Again, we send you much love and light, and it's been our pleasure and honor to be with you today. Thank you so much.